Good morning, Shri J.R. Singhal, President, Ludhiana Management Association, Shri Kamal Vadera, General Secretary, Ludhiana Management Association, Shri V.K. Goel, former President of Ludhiana Management Association, and I must make special mention of my college mate and a distinguished former Chief of the Ludhiana Management Association, Mr. Anil Kumar, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen who have made a place for themselves in the management fraternity of Ludhiana Management Association by virtue of their hard work and contribution. So I think I am very honored to be in the company of people who have distinguished themselves by being very useful citizens of the country by contributing to wealth creation and job creation. And thank you for the very generous words of introduction. Indeed, I have been very fortunate, and State Bank of India, for that matter, has given a wonderful backdrop for all this. I was privileged to be the Vice President Operations in State Bank of India, Canada, in Toronto for 5 years, which gave me an opportunity to have an insight into the functioning of the financial services industry and the businesses in what is called a G7 country. And then after my stint in retail, wholesale and international banking, I also had the privilege of being the Chief Investment Officer at SBI Mutual Fund, which gave me an insight into the world of investment banking. I think Mr. Singhal has made very strong demands. I do not know whether my abilities are adequate to meet that demand, but I acknowledge that these requests or these demands are emanating from genuine concerns of the business people and the entrepreneur community. I am very thankful to you and welcome this suggestion of sharing the credit assessment part with our customers. And particularly helpful is your suggestions that past connections should also be taken into account and not the present financial situation alone. But there is a dilemma, you know, in every mutual fund advertisement, we have to caveat. Past performance is no guarantee for future returns. So please watch. So of course, past behavior is important, but we cannot live in the past. When the country's economy was liberalized in 1992, if you see the most successful companies in terms of market capitalization, out of the 10, the largest, 3 of them are no longer in the 10 list, and some of them do not exist in the same form. Some other players have taken their place. And out of Ludhiana, I think people from Ludhiana have created such tremendously successful businesses, not only nationally but internationally. I must make mention of Sunil Mittal, who is heading the company called Airtel, and particularly the Munjal family, which has created an iconic brand and a product of Hero Honda and others. So, yesterday's leaders may not always remain today. If you look at sports, when in cricket, the first World Cup happened, second World Cup happened, West Indies was the unqualified, unquestioned champion. The third World Cup, India said, I also throw in my hat. Others laughed, but India won. After that, for successive World Cups, it was Australia, which was the uncrowned, ruling the roost and winning every possible competition. Today, their team is struggling when coming to play in India. So the wheels of success keep changing. And similarly in hockey, where I think many of you be of my generation, up to 1960 or 1962 Asian Games, it was taken for granted that the final would be between India and Pakistan. But today, both these countries struggle to find a place in the finals of the world. Similarly, what happens to cities? The city, State Bank was born, Calcutta was the industrial and commercial capital. But since for a long period they did not treat industry and business in a welcoming and in a friendly way, there came a decline. And it was mentioned that I was Chief General Manager of Chennai Circle in South. Now for a long time, Madras, as it was called, was the metropolis of South. And in fact, many of us in North would refer to anybody from South of India as people from Madras, Madrasi Khana. But today, in many ways, Bangalore has taken a lead over Chennai, present-day Madras, Chennai. And many of the foreign companies, Indian companies, students, professionals, in so many ways, and even the citizens of Madras, who are long-time residents of Madras, would like to be in Bangalore. So just to not to labor the point anymore, just to mention that things can change, so one has to run to stay where we are. And the point was made regarding the rate of interest, yes, because India has a high savings rate of 32%. Now one of the ways that this savings rate has been built up is because of relatively high rate of interest. So there is a bit of a conflict between the rate you pay to depositors, the rate you pay to the customers, borrowers. Unless you pay attractive rates, the deposits will go to all different directions. And unless the lending rates are controlled and good, the businesses would find themselves becoming uncompetitive. So when do you draw a line? It is not very different. Even in individual businesses, in management schools, we are told a story that there are two brothers. One was in charge of purchasing, the other was in charge of selling. So at night when they sit down for dinner, there would be a fight. That the seller buyer would say, you bought it wrong, you paid higher price for raw material. And the purchasing guy will say, I bought it right, you are not able to sell at good margins at good price. Similarly, all the time I have Mr. Chari from the National Banking, which is the retail segment, and I have also Mr. Joshi, who is in the mid-corporate lending segment. All the time Mr. Chari would say, please raise the rates, unless otherwise our branches are not going to get deposits. And Mr. Joshi would say, if you raise the rates, I don't get good customers. Anyway, one has to strike a balance in this. But in this, I would just like to mention a few things. Situations would never be good, but we have to make the best. And in this, I think the cash reserve ratio is something which possibly has unnecessarily raised the cost of borrowing for our customers. And we have an office in Shanghai, in China. So I asked them that what do we pay to our entry-level officer? They said $2,000. And then I asked, what is the price of a 2-bedroom apartment? Shanghai is extensively covered by the underground metro. He said $200,000. So I said, this fellow will never be able to own a house because the price of a house is 100 times his salary. They said, why sir? Because the loan on the home loan is 5%. So even if he does not get a promotion, even if he does not get an increase in his salary, in 15 years flat, by using 40% of his salary, he can pay off the house and he would not have the house mortgage to pay. And if his spouse is working, or he gets an increase, or he gets an inheritance, or he has some other income, he would be just better. So a 5% loan on in-housing loan and a 10% and a 15% makes a whole world of difference. So there has to be a reduction in the cost of capital in order for the industry to survive. And in doing that, I don't think we are doing a favor, because unless the bank is most efficient in lending, the bank itself will not find a place to exist. So we have made it a credo that our base rate is at 9.7% and we actually give it, I think in this hall there would be many people who would be getting interest rates close to that. But for doing that, why, and yet we have a net interest margin of 3.75 in our domestic business. So when the finance minister asked me that why do you need such high net interest margin? Banks abroad do not have such high interest rate. I politely told him, no, you please look at the retail bank of America, Wells Fargo. They have a net interest margin of 3.3. Then they looked up the banks in Europe, a very big bank in France called Societe Generale. They also have a net interest margin of 2.8, because this net interest margin gives us buffer against bad scenes or difficult businesses. And I have been asked to give you some words of wisdom, but I think trained as you are and having such deep experience, I do not know how far I am suited or capable of doing that. But one advice I leave with you, that India, the interest rates are high. Therefore, please recognize that you will need a longer tenor to pay back your loan. And if the value of your asset has a useful life, then please ask for a long tenor. Now supposing I was in a hotel this morning before coming, so I was talking to a very successful business person. I said, if you think that you can pay back your loan in 8 years, do not say it is 8 years. Say it will be 12 years. Because you cannot assume your cash flows. And in case you have accelerated cash flows, don't pay us back in 8 years, pay us back in 6 years, and we will not charge the prepayment penalty. But arrive at 12 years, build up a cushion. Because as per Reserve Bank of India definition, if 8 years becomes 8.5, it is restructured, substandard, NPA and whatnot. So therefore, let us, understand the current rules, and I would suggest that you extend your repayment period. In fact, the other day, hotel business came and he proposed, very enthusiastic person, 9 years. I said, no, you may do it in 9 years, but ask for 12 years. He said, why? I said, what happens to a hotel? What happens to a real estate? This hotel, I think, has been in existence for about 6, 7 years. I remember having more, and with some amount of modernization, renovation, this can go on for another 20 years. In fact, just next to our State Bank headquarters, there is the Oberoi Hotel, which was an iconic building, built in and commissioned in 1973. It has gone on for 38 years, and away from us there is the Taj Hotel at Gateway of India, which is now 100 years old and still goes on with modernizing. So if the useful asset is there, please take a longer repayment. And near our home in Punjab, in 1952-53, when the Bhakra Dam was built, it was said to have a life of 30 years. That in 30 years it would get silt. But since technology has come, desilting happens. So Bhakra Nangal has been, if you assume the date of commissioning to be 1953, has been around for 58 years and go on for more. So my advice would be, ask for a longer repayment and shop around for your business. There is nothing wrong to shop around. We don't go to the same shop to buy cloth where our father did or our elders did. So look around for new options. And the other thing is, don't assume business conditions remain same. Business conditions are very different, could change dramatically. And I would give an example. I was here about 35 years back. It was the most thriving center of industry. Ludhiana, the people's spirit, the industrial environment was terrific. But came the tax concessions in the neighboring state in Himachal Pradesh. And so many of the Ludhiana businesses put up their next plant, an additional plant in Uttaranchal or Himachal Pradesh. So much so, there is a very conservative business house from south called the TVS Group, who never moved beyond Tamil Nadu, and even if they did only to Karnataka. Even they have come all the way to Uttarakhand in Haldwani, because the tax rules and others make it imperative. So please look at the long-term viability, please have a diversification plan, and we and State Bank are extremely honored and extremely grateful to the people of India to have put faith in us and has placed so much of money with us, and it is our solemn responsibility to deploy it in a manner, in a prudent manner for nation building, also to generate profits and also to protect the market capitalization. I have gone to many countries. There is a country, Russia. Now, it has very robust economy otherwise. But I was very surprised. It is very difficult to attract money into the banks. So, you may have a very robust economy where the incomes are higher, businesses are doing well. But if the banks are not well capitalized, if they are not well resourced, they will not be very helpful in promoting the economy. On the other hand, whatever we may say about our neighbor China, China's banks are extremely well capitalized and well, I would say, funded. And in a large measure, to a large measures, they have been able to put in tons of mind-boggling amounts of money into their businesses, which has led to the emergence of China in this manner. I am not advocating a particular banking model, but to say that a strong, robust, well-funded, well-provided banking system is an asset to the country that cannot be taken. Therefore, those who find fault with us, I have no quarrel with them. Yes, we are also not infallible. Please find fault with us. But please tell us how can we serve the society and the nation better in a sustainable manner. Regarding the interest rates, I am a firm believer that inflation can be curbed or can be restricted only by court. Interest rates, if used prudently, increase the supply of capital. With supply of capital increases output, and output only can control prices. And in today's economy, when globally everything is so interconnected, it is pointless trying to erect barriers and pointless trying to contain the economy in the days when it was done, when the economy was controlled. So if our interest rates are high, people will go and borrow foreign capital. So what are we trying to achieve? We will in fact end up marginalizing the country's banks and the country's capital. So interest rates being more benign, more conducive and more useful for capital formation are extremely important, and in this endeavor I am very pleased and honored to present the services of State Bank of India with you. We have taken due note of the suggestions made by Sri Singhal and to place the entire expertise of the bank available with you, and those of you or many of you who have operations overseas in the sense of either exports or units outside, we would be very happy to assist you or to support you with capital in whatever currency you want, and also in the domestic in terms of the remittance, in terms of the other advice, and we have moved to a concept of relationship manager and account management team. We are constantly trying to improvise and improve our credit delivery, and after this, if time permits, I would be very happy to have an interaction, because I believe that communication should not be a one-way process. The best communication is when it is two-way. I think I have spoken enough, and my late father told me that our Creator has given us one mouth and 2 ears. So we should speak half of what we hear. But again, I was aware that if I speak too briefly, then people would think that this person came, he had no interest, but he just wanted to spend some time and walked away. So it was a delicate balance between the two approaches. And being chairman of the bank, which is Trans-India operation, I find it extremely useful and a part of my duty to reach out to the business people, to the useful citizens of the society in every part of the country. 15 days back I was in South, in Visakhapatnam. In fact, that brought so much new business to us, and I also became aware of the great opportunities that exist. And again, Ludhiana is a place which we respect a lot and we admire a lot. And in fact, I started the career in the bank in this part of the country. I am extremely respectful and admirer of the enterprise and never say die attitude of the people of Punjab and Ludhiana in particular. I am extremely honored to be present here in the midst of such distinguished people. Thank you very much.